Hi everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the Micronauts Omnibus Volume 1, collected for the first time ever. There will be three different volumes apparently. This is the same as the ROM comics to the ROM Omnibus, or ROMnibus if you will. But yeah, so here it is. I'm going to go through this. This is a series that I know of course, but I didn't grow up with it. And I've always been curious to read it because it sounds awesome. I know of the toys as well, but all this stuff happened just before my time. I'm an 80s kid, not necessarily a 70s kid, even though I was born in the 70s. But I'm eager to tuck into these stories. I did read the issue 1 facsimile, and that was awesome. Very of the Star Wars zeitgeist of the time, but epic tales as well. So without further ado, let's look at this omnibus in more detail. So here it is, and let's take a look at the dust jacket. Let's actually take it off of here. So here it is in all its glory. Here's the synopsis on the right. Cover, spine. I love when they do all the different issues and stuff. Collecting issues 1 to 29 and annual 1 and 2. Written by Bill Mantlo and illustrated by legendary artists Michael Golden, Howard Chaykin, Pat Broderick, and Steve Ditko. You see all the characters down here. And of course, here's the creators on the back flap, and nothing on the back. Here is the actual cover. Let's take a better look at this. Here's the back cover with the atom structure. All right, let's take a look inside. A nice title page, nice colorful artwork. Special thanks here for Hasbro, Michael Kelly, Edwin Lane, Linda Lee, Taylor Ryu. I don't know if those are legacy names or the names of the people that made this possible, that Marvel could reproduce these comics again. They couldn't for years. Volume 1. So they're going to be 3 volumes, just like ROM, Space Knight. Here's a write-up of how Micronauts came to be. The toys caught Mantlo's attention at the right time, as it did barely a half year removed from the spring 1977 launches of both Marvel's Star Wars 1 comic and then the groundbreaking film itself. As legend has it, Bill Mantlo's kid got Micronauts toys, and he was inspired to do this comic and pitched it to Jim Shooter, I guess. Here's map of the homeworld. Micronauts number 1. Bill Mantlo, Michael Golden. So I'm not as familiar with Micronauts as I am with ROM Space Knight. ROM Space Knight I collected for years, and I read them all. I love it. Both ROM and Micronauts sort of predate me a bit. I was around during the toys and stuff. Here's issue 2. And here, the Micronauts flee their home world from the tyranny of Baron Karza, and they go to Earth. On Earth, they're the size of the toys. And that's why they're the Micronauts. So, as I was saying, yeah, I was more familiar with ROM. Micronauts, I know of it, and I know the toys, and I've always admired the toys. I don't own any of it. The toys were mostly a 1970s Mego product, and I don't own any of those. But a lot of what they were doing is a precursor to the 1980s toys and the style of packaging, etc., that I'm familiar with. Here's a Baron Karza write-up. Pretty cool bonus poster. Baron Karza was a cool-looking villain. Great toy design. Great design, of course, in a comic. This is issue 4. I'm just going through these quickly. So yeah, I always wanted to read all of Micronauts, and I'm going to do that with this omnibus release. I did purchase the here's the Endeavor Homeworld microchip. Let's try and get a better look at that. Oh, as I jostle the camera all over the place. There you go. So I do look forward to reading all of this now. Micronauts, of course, Mego toy line, mostly the 70s. The comic came later. The comic actually outpaced the toy line. But the toys were no slouch. There are many, many pieces of that. I think into like, I think it was like 70 different pieces you can get. There's it's vehicles, it's play it's vehicles, it's play sets, it's action figures, all sorts of things, and lots of breakaway pieces from the action figures, lots of accessories. But just like ROM Space Knight, which also had the benefit of Bill Mantlo writing it, that comic, ROM Space Knight and Micronauts outpaced the toys themselves. Here is some sort of legend of the alphabet for the aliens. Pretty cool stuff. And of course, letters pages. Here's Man-Thing. Pretty awesome. Man-Thing playing with his toys. Yeah, so I am looking forward to reading all of this. It looks like one awesome space epic. The comics influenced Marvel heavily. Here's Baron Karza doing his thing. A lot of stuff came from these comics. I don't know if the Microverse specifically came from this. I think it did. Here is more letters page. Pretty cool. But also Captain Universe came from this as well. And I think Captain Universe makes his appearance in this volume. And that lived on for a while in Marvel Comics. I have plenty of Marvel Comics where Captain Universe is in it. Captain Universe, of course, is an entity that imbues someone it chooses with its power. Of course, famously, Spider-Man got the power cosmic at one point in Acts of Vengeance. Here's Time Traveler. That was a figure. All these characters are awesome. Here you have Commander Actress Ren, Princess Mari, Marionette, Biotron, which was a figure, Microtron, I think that was a figure as well, Bug, Slug, Force Commander, Acroyear, however you want to say it. I always said Acroyear. I don't know. There were lots and lots of Acroyears. I think it was supposed to be a troop builder in the figure line. Lots of different versions of Acroyear in that. Here's Baron Karza. Here's the white stallion version of Baron Karza. I know there was a version of that. I think it was called Pegasus or something in the action figures. This art is incredible stuff. Blood Feud. Bill Mantlo and Michael Golden. You know, lots of Kirby dots here and stuff. Very colorful stuff. This lasted quite a long time, and I know with ROM Space Knight, Bill Mantlo wove in a lot of heart and emotion to it, a lot of intrigue and romance, and I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff in these Micronauts comics. Here's the first annual for Micronauts. Of course, like everything else that Marvel licensed, for the most part, they entrenched it in the Marvel Universe. They did that with Conan. They tried to do that with Transformers. I don't know if they did that so much for G.I. Joe. They did it for Godzilla. They did it for this. They did it for ROM Space Knight. This is cool. All the characters. They look fantastic here. I don't think they ever made a Bug figure. Am I wrong? Issue 13. So this is no exception. I mean, as you saw, they interacted with Man-Thing. So there's a lot of that kind of thing going on. He strikes from outer space. Rom Space Knight. So Rom was, I think, Milton Bradley or Parker Brothers, one of those guys. And that was going to be Bill Mantlo as well, writing that. And Micronauts, I think, is late 70s on into the 80s. I think 78, 79, around there. At that point, the toy line was winding down. By the time I was getting toys, here's a Howard Chaykin, little profile for him. By the time I was getting toys, I didn't get Micronauts at all. I never got them. I know of the Rocket Tubes. Here's a Fantastic Four. They figure into a few issues here. I know about the Rocket Tubes, how that was dangerous and everything, and it was shooting into like windows and stuff. Here's a Doctor Strange house ad. That's pretty awesome. In issue 16. Pretty cool stuff. Psycho Man, who always looked awesome. Here's more Thing and Fantastic Four. Here's Spider-Woman house ad. A totally different kind of superheroine on sale now. When the MCU was going strong, I know a lot of fans were asking, where's Rom Space Knight? Where are the Micronauts? Because they're so deeply entrenched in the Marvel Universe in the comics. And the thing is, they didn't have the rights to these things. It was all Hasbro. Hasbro made a deal with IDW to do a bunch of universe comics where everything... Here's a Rom Space Knight house ad again. Pretty cool. I love this pose. They use that art in a lot of stuff. Yeah, IDW did a whole Hasbro-verse type of thing. I can't remember what they called it now. It wasn't Convergence. It was something similar to that. But the thing was, I didn't like any of that stuff because it wasn't... They couldn't use anything that was created by Marvel. So, I mean, they had Dire Wraiths in the Rom Space Knight thing. What's this? Tom Cumberland said, Lewis Carroll must have had this issue installment of Micro Males in mind when he penned those famous lines, because we have one heck of a lot to talk about here. Yeah, so there's talking about like creative teams and stuff. Micronauts 20. Yeah, so the thing is, they did this whole thing with like Visionaries and all this other stuff. Rom Space Knight, Micronauts. It didn't quite work out. It wasn't interesting because they couldn't use things that Marvel had invented, that Bill Mantlo had invented. Here's Ant-Man, of course. And they're sort of stuck in the water. And now I guess they've made some sort of deal, like Hasbro has made some sort of deal with Marvel to reprint stuff from Micronauts and Rom Space Knight. And I know they've been doing that a lot lately with Rom, in that the very first thing I saw was the Rom X-Men crossover as a trade paperback that was in the Rom comics, the ones where the X-Men teamed up with Rom to fight a guy. And then, of course, the omnibuses were already announced, and I pre-ordered that. They've got Micronauts here. And I'm sure there'll be trade paperbacks of, like, Fantastic Four and the Micronauts or whatever. Or, Man-Thing and the Micronauts or whatever. So that should be cool. I don't know where all this is going. I don't know. I haven't been reading a lot of modern Marvel comics to know whether or not they're folding them back into the Marvel Universe of the modern era. I really hope not, because they're not going to do good things with them. You know that, right? So yeah. Oh, these Toys R Us shopping spree. Did anyone even win this? This is fantastic. Pat Broderick art here. I don't know if he did the cover, but this is... I love the window and everything here. It's awesome stuff. I love the way the colors pop on these pages for the omnibuses. I don't know if any of this is recolored from the original Tales of the Microverse. They're doing this sort of like Tales of Krypton thing. What happened in the Microverse before all this crap? Feroid was a figure in the toy line. Here's the Marvel checklist. I love these. I use these. I actually have comics where I checked off. So, of course, those comics are worthless now, but where I actually checked off what I got that month, or I'd circle ones that I wanted. I should go through those. I have a lot of Marvel Age like that. Meet the Micromakers, Pat Broderick, that's cool. Molecule Man, made famous for me at least in Secret Wars. I know he was around before then, but I knew him a lot from Secret Wars. This is cool. The Microship Endeavor, nice diagram art. Tales of the Microverse. You got a lot of value in a comic back then. Yeah, so here's some things that were in the toy line they couldn't fit into their continuity, I guess. More checklist. Pretty cool stuff. Bonus poster. This is neat. Issue 24. I know this thing was a figure. It makes me, you know, it's funny, these were meant to, well, I know that Bill Mantlo was just like, you know, telling stories, but these, oh, this is great. These were meant to sell the toys, and it's working on me because I feel like going on eBay and buying up a bunch of Micronauts stuff from this comic, from this omnibus, really. The origin of Baron Karza. This is great art here. So, Annual 2. So you've got, yeah, Space Glider, Marionette, Bug, Acroyer, or Acroyer, Microtron, Biotron, Manhattan there. Bug has like a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He has a 10-pack, man. Look at that. I know he's got different physiology from a human, but Macy's. Yeah, out of all my comics, I have older comics, of course, that sort of predate me from when I was a kid, that I would get from bargain bins and stuff. And I never really came across Micronauts stuff. I came across Shogun Warriors a lot, so I have a lot of older Shogun Warriors stuff. Friends and Foes of the Micronauts, a lot of Marvel characters. And I have a lot of, like, you know, Battlestar Galactica that came out when I was 1, and I never got them when I was a kid. I just bought them later on in bargain bins when I was like 7 or 8. What's going on here, man? But I never came across Micronauts. I guess a lot of people held on to them and didn't, you know, sell them or give them away to comic stores and stuff for their bargain bins. Here's the hieroglyph key again. Really pushing that. And here's the origin of Karza. Tell them that Baron Karza lives again. So I kind of missed out. But as I said, I always heard about Micronauts. I knew it was awesome. I just never got into it. And it pleases me to pick up this volume so I can get... I mean, it looks incredible. Look at this. It is awesome. Issue 27. And Baron Karza is fantastic. I know that they've tried to revive Micronauts in various different comics in the past. It just didn't work out. Yeah, I mean, I know someone like, you know, Rob Liefeld or someone would probably sink their teeth into this if they did this now. Another checklist. Rami's on his 16th issue. 28. Ran doomed. Karza defeated. The planet Spartak destroyed. Wow. Incredible splash page. It's Pat Broderick and Dan Belandi as inker. And here are the Avengers. They look awesome. I love the shadowing on Iron Man here. This is an incredible page here. Cool stuff. More awesome fighting. So here's the U.S. Postal Service Statement of Ownership, Management, and Circulation. Required by 39 U.S.C. 3685. There you go. Title of publication is The Micronauts. Well, good to know, guys. I don't know if this gives circulation information here or not. Anyway, I'll look at this later. Issue 29, the last issue that's collected in this volume. Look at all this. Doc Samson, everyone's favorite hanger-on of Hulk comics. I don't know. I liked him as a kid, and now I'm like, anyway, I'm sure he's awesome to somebody. There's Bug. All sorts of cool stuff going on. This guy's awesome. So let's look at all the special features they have on the back. And usually they have a bunch of special stuff on the back of these volumes. So this is Bill Mantlo talking in 1978 about how he got involved with the Micronauts. Yeah, he talks about his son, I think his stepson at the time, had gotten Micronauts for Christmas 1977. He was like, huh, this looks like it can be a comic. Here's some original pages. Here's a write-up in Foom 22, autumn 1978. Here's some house ad stuff. The Micronauts are coming. I feel like Micronauts is like a 1974 thing that went on for a few years, and then, yeah, it was on its last legs when the comic came out. Maybe I'm wrong. There's more ad stuff. Cool. Shogun Warriors, Micronauts, Battlestar Galactica. Micronauts meet the Man-Thing. That's cool. Here's the Marvel funny book that they made. And Micronauts and S.H.I.E.L.D. Micronauts. So these are all different house ads. Biotron dead? Who killed him? Find out in Micronauts 29. Dun dun dun. There's more art. This looks weird. Oh, this is the poster that they made. Yes, okay. That's cool. More original art. Michael Golden signed it here. Here's the cover of 2. Earth. That's cool. They pasted this in. There's more artwork. Straighten this out better. All right. More artwork. Color's great, but I do love seeing these black and whites where you really get the inking. Whoo! All that cool detail. Those Kirby dots. And here's more write-up of how Micronauts came to be from Micronauts Special Edition number 3. So I'm thinking Micronauts Special Edition, here's where I'm getting that from. Micronauts Special Edition, I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, was a bunch of issues that reprinted Micronauts and had stuff like this in it. Evolution of the Micronauts from Special Edition 5 in April 84. This is unused cover pencil art. You could probably barely see it from Butch Juice. Or Goose. Special Edition number 1 cover. Here's a big wraparound. Presenting the original classics by Bill Mantlo and Michael Golden. The princess kind of looks like Chitara. I think it's the eye makeup from Thundercats. Special Edition 2. Special Edition 3. This is cool. They expanded that cover. Special Edition 4. Special Edition 5. Some cover pages. And here's something from Crazy Magazine number 63 from 1980. It's a back cover parody of the Micronauts called Micronauts. And it's like a parody of toy commercials of the 1980s and toys of the 1980s. This is from writer Larry Hama and artist Michael Golden. Instead of tiny figures, it's like giant building-sized action figures and stuff. So the kid's like on top of like a big truck one. It's like mobile 100-foot extension derrick included with each kit. There's a DC Tenatron, so it's like a giant airplane or whatever. Titan Atlas-tron, so like a big, I don't even know what that is, and Deterioration-tron or whatever. It's like just a bunch of cars mashed together, and here's like the people underneath. Pretty funny. So that's it for Micronauts Volume 1. I hope you like this walk through it, and if you can, pick it up. It's pretty cool stuff. So until next time, take care.